So, Jan, what are you up to at the moment?
Well, I'm standing for the Green Party in the Mana by-election, so I'm quite busy knocking on people's doors and getting out and meeting to people and talking about kind of green and social justice issues.
So, what do you think the key issues for the Kapiti Coast are at present?
Well, at the moment there are three key issues that we're campaigning on. One is improving public transport, making it more affordable and more reliable and more regular, because at the moment I'm commuting in from Paikakariki to Wellington every day, and it's taking me on average 2 hours to get to Newtown and then 2 hours back. It's madness. It doesn't make sense for people to take public transport, and yet we're saying to everyone take public transport.
How many people on the coast actually do the commute?
Well, at the peak hours, the train's full, and at times there are people standing. And so people want to commute, and another aspect of it is, like, Paikakariki is a railway village. Plympton's a railway village. Porirua was built around the railway. For everyone in those communities, the railway means more than just the service. There's a kind of a sense of culture and self-identity that goes with being connected to the railway station. So we want it.
So, what do you think the trains of the future look like?
Well, ideally, and I'm sad to say this isn't what we're getting in the short term, but they'll have toilets, they'll have bike racks to enable people to bike to the train and then bike from the train. They'll have more sitting space and more space for people to be able to connect to their neighbours and be able to be by themselves. Because that's, you see that in the trains and the buses at the moment. Some people just want their own zone, and we need to allow for that. And other people want to talk to the people around them and their friends.
So tell me what it's like to commute. Like, what is your experience of it?
Well, on the days when it's working well, it's lovely. I get to sit there with my laptop and do my work, and as in today, have a conversation with one of the people across the road, and we talked all the way to Wellington, and it was great. And I learned things about the community that I didn't know, kind of good gossip, like that's a good day. Bad days are all too often, and that's when the train isn't running and it's replaced by a bus, and we're all crammed in there, and people have to stand all the way from Paikakariki to Wellington, and we pull into Porirua station, which has so many potholes that we're all kind of going like this, and the older women around me, or men, but in my memory it's women, are complaining because their backs are hurting.
So what are the other things that you're standing for in the coast, up the coast?
Well, a big push for me in terms of, and I think this also connects to public transport, because we can create jobs and free up money in the economy by improving public transport and making it affordable. But one of the key things for me in the electorate is reducing inequality. There's really great research internationally that's showing up that the more divided a society is, then the poorer the outcomes for everyone. The poorer the healthcare for people, the less people recycle. It's one of those bizarre things, but it's bad for everyone to have that bigger division between people. So I've spent years working in the community, and I'm really, really passionate. And having been through times in my own life where I could have gone off the rails and things could have been very bad.
So what does that look like? Is that sort of debt reduction, or what are your sort of key policies around that, or ideas around that, sorry?
Well, I think the Greens have got a comprehensive package of policies. We've got a key one, which is the first $10,000 is tax-free, about extending the in-work tax credit to non-working families, to ensure that early childhood education is accessible and affordable for everyone, unlike the current initiatives that are happening that mean some people are going to have to take their kids out of early childhood education, which makes no sense at all. It's about looking at bringing back, when I was a kid, there was a family benefit that was accrued to every child. So we're looking at trying to bring that back. So families with children have money per child that is for that child's best interest. And I know I was given that money when I was 12 or 13, and I had to budget for my own expenses, and it was something that taught me how to use money as well as freed up money in the family for the family to be able to use,
That sounds tremendous. So what about the third element, which is
water. which the Kapiti Coast and Mana is one of the most beautiful places in New Zealand. You've just moved there, I think?
I have just moved there.
So you appreciate that. It is stunning. And the Porirua Harbour and Pauatanui Inlet are just places of natural wonder. And the potential for wildlife in those areas and ecotourism in those areas is huge. But at the moment they're polluted and we're not putting the investment in it to protect them. And people in those communities are also being denied access to it. They're not feeling connected to those waterways, and that's a part of who they are. Living there is those waterways. So by a small financial investment in protecting and cleaning up those waterways, we can build economy, we can build community, and we can build a stunning environment for all of us.
How connected is the community up the coast? So I guess there's several different types of communities up there, quite diverse.
Really diverse and quite distinct. And I mean, Paikakariki is quite connected, and apparently you can live quite separately if you choose to. But if you don't choose to, then everyone knows your business. And it's fantastic. It's a really functioning, slightly anarchic community. And Plimmerton, I went to the opening of the refurbished railway station there, and it looked as if the entire community had turned out because they'd all put in the work to do it up. And there was that story of, the young person who'd been done for tagging, who had joined the refurbishment and had just learnt lots off the older people in terms of painting and skills and was just now feeling like a real part of that community. So that's quite cohesive. And then, you go into Cannons Creek and the communities around the Cook Islands Community Centre there. There's some very, very strong community. And I think our role is to help strengthen that rather than pretend it's, minimise it or talk about the problems all the time.
Well, good luck, Jan. You're running a very exciting campaign. It's pretty sexy, actually. I've just seen the photographs. So we wish you the best of luck from me and from your community.
Thank you very much.